Hello folks, I'm Alex, this is Alex Unabridged, and I need your help for choosing my next chunky read. So welcome back to the channel if that is the case. Yes, it's time to have a look at the choices I've got on the table for my next big old read for the Quarterly Chonk project of mine, where I'm spending 3 months trying to get through a big book that I've wanted to get through for a while. I don't get through them in a month, so I've decided to do them over 3 months, over a quarter, and I'm letting you help me decide which to read. So for quarter one, you picked The Terror by Dan Simmons, and what a wonderful choice that has been, I have to say, so thank you for that. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'm very nearly finished with that one. The book itself is excellent, but I've just really enjoyed reading something over that extended period. I've had it on my phone actually, which is a device that I never usually use to read. If it's an ebook, it's usually on Kindle or even on iPad sometimes. But yeah, my phone I never used, but I've had it there and I've been able to just like read a few pages at a time when I've had like 10 minutes to spare or something. Or if I've been on the train and I just kind of fancy reading it or what have you. That's been really good in helping me get through it. And it's a really nice change as well from like sitting down with like a book for like an extended period of time. Which is my usual practice when I read, is I will sit down for a couple of hours at least and read. So yeah, it's been really good reading that one in sort of bite-sized pieces. It's made it very manageable and I've had a great time with it. So as with quarter one then, you've got 3 books to pick from and I will need your help. A poll is live already. I've posted it on the community tab as this video goes out. You can vote on there, or if you want to leave your choice in the comments on this video, then please feel free to do that instead, but please pick one way of voting or another, so either in the comments or on the poll, just so that I can keep the numbers straight and make sure that I've got the winner correct. The poll and my counting of the comments, etc., will close on Friday, this Friday, 12 p.m. UK time. So get your vote in before then. So to the choices. So first up, it's the runner-up from quarter one, which was the illustrated Gormenghast trilogy by Mervyn Peake. And this is 960 pages. For anyone who didn't watch my first quarterly chonk, I'm defining chonk as anything over 800 pages. So 960 pages for Gormenghast trilogy. So a little blurb, in case you don't know it. Gormenghast is the vast, crumbling castle to which the 77th Earl, Titus Groan, is lord and heir. Titus is expected to rule this gothic labyrinth of turrets and dungeons, and his eccentric and wayward subjects, according to strict age-old rituals, but things are changing in the castle. Titus must contend with treachery, manipulation and murder, as well as his own longing for a life beyond the castle walls. So yes, this is dark fantasy. It's one that I'm a little scared of in terms of whether I'll get on with the language. It's quite dense apparently, but it's one that I've had on my potential list for a while. As I say, that was the runner-up from quarter one, so it gets another chance in quarter two's poll. Okay then, next up, we've got some horror. Of course we have. It's me. And this is with Swan Song by Robert McCammon. And this is 929 pages in the edition that I have. So the blurb for this then is, facing down an unprecedented malevolent enemy, the US government responds with a nuclear attack. Soon, America as it was is gone forever. And now every citizen, from the President of the United States to the homeless on the streets of New York City, will fight to stay alive. In a wasteland born of rage and fear, populated by monstrous creatures and marauding armies, Earth's last survivors are drawn into the final battle between good and evil, which will decide the fate of humanity. Sister, who discovers a strange and transformative glass artifact in the destroyed Manhattan streets. Joshua Hutchins, the pro wrestler who takes refuge from the nuclear fallout at a Nebraska gas station. And Swan, a young girl possessing special powers who travels alongside Josh to a Midwest town where healing and recovery can begin with her extraordinary gifts. But the ancient force behind the world's devastation is scouring the walking wounded for recruits to build its relentless army, beginning with Swan herself. This one has been on my list for yonks. And as a horror fan, I'm a little ashamed actually to say that I have never read any Robert McCammon. A lot of McCammon's books are on my wish list and have been for a long time, but for some reason I've just never got round to them. This one particularly, Swan Song, sounds like it, from what I've heard, there are kind of, sort of similarities in some respects to The Stand by Stephen King, which is a book of King's that I love. And I think this could be just a really good place to start with McCammon. It does seem to be one of the ones that people really love. So that is the second one on the list. If you fancy seeing me try my first Robert McCammon. Okay then, and finally for your deliberation, it's a bit of historical fiction. Not something I read a huge amount of, but this one does intrigue me. And this is The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. And this is a whopping 1,090 pages. And it's only the first in a series as well. I think it's a series of 5. So the blurb for this then is an epic spellbinding tale of ambition, anarchy and absolute power set against the sprawling medieval canvas of 12th century England. It is 1135 and civil war, famine and religious strife abound. With his family on the verge of starvation, Mason, Tom Builder, dreams of the day that he can use his talents to create and build a cathedral like no other. Philip is the church prior of Kingsbridge. A resourceful man, he knows that if his town is to survive at all, it must find a way to truly thrive. He decides then to build Kingsbridge the greatest Gothic cathedral the world has ever known. So as the prior recruits his mason, so begins a journey of ambition, anarchy and the struggle for absolute power. Facing enemies that would thwart them, they will stop at nothing to fulfil their grand plans of Kingsbridge. Soon tensions build between good and evil, turning church against state and brother against brother. This is not the sort of thing that I would typically read, but I keep hearing really good reports of it for years, and I'm just really intrigued by it for whatever reason. As I say, this is the first in a book of a series of I think 5 books. But that's quite an investment to think about the series at this stage. I'm just thinking about the first one. But yeah, from what I hear, it's pretty kind of fast and compelling for a historical chonker. So I'm definitely up for giving it a try. Yeah, it's definitely piqued my interest. There you go, folks. Those are your choices for quarter 2. Cast your vote for what you want to see me read over the next 3 months. As I say, you can vote on the poll or in the comments, but just do one or the other. So that will do from me today. It's just a reasonably quick one from me to introduce the 3 books that you've got to pick from for the quarterly chunk. Thanks very much for watching. As always, folks, I'll be back on Friday with my thoughts on Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham, part of my science fiction project. So do join me for that, and tune in on Sunday for the results of this quarterly chunk poll, which will be part of my TBR for April. But from me, for now, that's ta-ra.